Welcome to War Games, hosted by the sales genius Joe Ingram. If you're looking to win the sales battle, then you have joined the right team. In the War Games group, we devise strategies for sales, marketing, branding, mindset, and attitude. We enlist the assistance from the most successful producers across all industries. We then share their knowledge and techniques with you. Our single goal is to get you ready for your next sales opportunity. When it comes to crossing the minefield of sales, step in the footprints of those that have crossed before you. Now, prepare yourself for boot camp and beyond. It's time for the War Games to begin.
We play a game.
Hello, War Gamers. Joe Ingram, your host. Today, it is me and me alone. Why? Because I'm actually filming this the night before because I wanted to make sure the sound works. Not like last time on the other one, which I do owe you all a remake, which I'll probably do next. So you go, wow, he wore the same, Genius Training Network shirt in both episodes. So for those on the podcast, Sales Genius Podcast, are going, what are you talking about? Okay, unless you watch it on Spotify. Today, my topic is I want to talk to you about how do you develop excellent customer service. Okay, I am the guy who tells everybody customer service comes after you make the sale. That's when they become customers. So there are very similar things in customer service that you can start during the process of selling that will carry over and in because that'll just look congruent that that's who you are as a company. So I want you guys to understand sales skills, get them to be sold. Once they buy something, they become a customer. And as a customer, how you treat them is whether or not you keep them. Okay, so I pulled up a presentation here that I want to add up into it. There we go. Look, there's two of me now. Let's throw me down here in the corner. Okay, so let's start talking customer service. I'm going to go to my first slide. Let's define what it means. Let's talk about what is customer service. Okay, it's the support provided to you before, during, and after sale. But the overall goal is what? A positive experience to build loyalty. And at the end, I'm going to give you the loyalty cheat sheet so you understand. And this whole presentation will be available in the private group. So feel free to partake of it in any way you want, cut and paste, use it yourself. It'll be great. Here's what I want to talk about first. Let's go in 2022, which just passed. Best examples of customer service. Amazon. How did Amazon get to be great at customer service? The first thing they did was they made it self-serve. So it's at their leisure, your time. There is no hours that Amazon is open or closed. It's when you feel you want to do it, pull open the app, buy what you want. Chick-fil-A. We've talked about this multiple times. Appreciate customers to improve customer satisfaction. Listen, they make good food. There's a lot of fast food places and small restaurants that do actually provide good food. But what they do is they talk to us different. They don't tell you no problem like they do over with that one with the clown. Well, there's two with the clowns. But when you look at those restaurants, we don't give them Sundays off. We only give Chick-fil-A, the one that changed every word into my pleasure or of course or absolutely. They changed the way they talk to us, which means it changed the way I feel when I'm there. Okay. Ranked number 3 was Ritz-Carlton. Technology makes it easier to adapt to a customer's need. Now, this is Ritz-Carlton. We're talking hotels. They are looking for how to implement technology so that everything becomes easier for their staff to deliver a great customer service experience for their customers. Freshworks. Okay. If you go to Freshworks website, they are investing in relationships so that they can improve the customer life cycle. They want you to continuously keep coming back. So they invest in customers. They give things to you. They incentivize you to buy more, right? Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has proven if the people buy in, love where they work, are treated well, paid well, that they will give you happy customers. It was Richard Branson that said that over at Virgin. He said, take care of your employees, they'll take care of your customers. But Trader Joe's has flat out said this is what we do, and they've built that culture. IKEA, a store dedicated to meatballs up in the cafeteria, right? And whole entire follow the map, what is it, like a scavenger hunt to get through and figure out where you're going. But they have everything to make it easier for you. I have some things from IKEA in my garage. When I want to get more, I just go on their website, click, and have it dropped off at my house. And I know it's going to work because it's the same part numbers that are in there. Okay. Starbucks personalized the customer experience. When you personalize it, and I'll go into that later, it encourages customer loyalty. But just by having you put your name on a cup and them yelling you out your name is a point of recognition. And now some of you may be like me, where I was looking for one of my cups, but at Starbucks, right, I have a funny name on mine. So when they announce it, they always say it, and then they stop and realize what they just heard, and then they laugh. And they're like, oh, I get that. Oh, that's funny. And it is funny. But again, once you personalize it, so now it's for them, right? You guys all know you go to Starbucks, and if they yell out another name, like usually Brian's on here, if Brian is going to be the name they yell out, I don't go look for it. But when they yell out my name, it feels personalized. Okay? So where do I start? You're a business owner. Let's move me outside of this so we don't take up too much of the slide. Okay, first thing we got to do is you got to develop that culture of service. So the mindset has to be, now I will tell you, for a lot of my clients, the mindset of customer service and that culture of taking care of people means within their department. It's not company-wide. In fact, you'll have one department fight with another department on how to get the customer satisfied. And in the middle of all that, what is happening? That flipping customer is bouncing in between everybody in those departments, and they don't need to be a ping pong ball back and forth while we cast blame or we try to say who's going to do this, who's going to do that. The answer is what? How do I take care of the customer, worry about the rest later? And that's what we want to make sure of. But everybody has to be thinking, I got to make a decision, and that decision has to be made in the interest of the customer first. So that's where we're going to start. How do you implement that philosophy? How do you implement that culture into your company? And if it's just you, guess what? You don't get to have off days. If you're like, I'm a one-man show, well, you're going to make sure that the phones are answered. You're going to make the emails get replied to, the texts get replied to. You're going to make sure that every customer gets scheduled how they're supposed to get scheduled. And it becomes very daunting. And that's why you want to look at one of the other episodes we had, which is utilizing a virtual assistant, right? I think it was Mike Mole that came up with that. How do you guys get to build out what you need to get? Because remember, paying for someone to take care of your customers will pay you back long term as long as you've outlined it and done it, because that customer stays with you. So first thing, what are we looking at? Train employees for empathy, okay? Not sympathy. Empathy means I understand your feelings. Sympathy means, oh, I'm supposed to get sad with you. Not crazy about that, right? I want to say, I'm going to empathize with you, feel your feelings, know what you're going through, and I will acknowledge it. So we're going to train our employees for empathy and product expertise. And we do that from the get-go. Once we hire them, we have to sit down and say, let's talk about how our decisions are based on customer first. And we're going to go through that. Then we got to develop a knowledge library, right? For a lot of my clients, we build out the actual training modules in an online training platform, and it discusses that. And then they test them afterwards to say, hey, take a look at this. It's all the way. This is what we do. Here's the situation. What do you do? Wrong. Let's go back and rewatch this section. But you got to start them from the beginning. It's not about throw them out there to talk to people and then have them run into an issue and then have to come find somebody to explain to them how do they resolve it. Okay. They need to know your product unbelievably well. Why? Because that's part of the customer service journey. Part of my sales part of it means I have to be able to sell it. I have to know it. I have to be able to defend it. I have to be able to compare it, so that if you don't understand that, then you can't be as effective as you need to be. And your team is going to be hurting because that weak link of the person who hasn't got that information down solid. So you need to be actually testing your people. You need to be implementing what we say and then hold them accountable to what you implemented. Otherwise, it was that thing we tried, and that's not going to get you anywhere. Okay. Continuing my steps to implementation. I need you to streamline your customer response and utilize all of these great tools we have. AI, you got a workflow. Do you have a CRM tool? Do you have something that's going to remind your people to do what they're supposed to do when they get to that? You guys need to understand how smooth is your process, how much of it requires an individual to move it forward versus how much does it require an automation to get it done. Okay. One of my clients, I introduced one of their resident nerds. Okay. Aaron is an Excel genius. So Aaron builds out all these great spreadsheets. And I told him, I said, hey, have you ever used Zapier? Now, I haven't used Zapier, but I was told by Matt, who's another previous trainer of ours twice, right? Matt went in and showed me how to use it for War Games and Sales Genius podcast, how to get people to text that they want to be part of the group and not just listen to it. People that want to be in the group and interact so that we can go back and forth. But Zapier allows somebody to text something. When the text comes in, Zapier says, oh, text comes in, send them back this message, shoot this link over to them, wait one day, send this back. And it allows you to build out automation. Can we do something like that for customer issues? When I told Aaron, hey, Aaron, you know what the easiest thing is? Check out Zapier and go through. I've heard fantastic things. He went in, he said, hey, the 2 hours that I take every morning to put all of this reporting together and send off to all the managers and run all this stuff, it now takes 4 minutes. Because all I do is kick off the Zap and wait for it to upload and push everything out into the Google Sheets. And now everybody has an update. You can zap out emails, you can zap out text messages, zap out just about anything you need to so that you can get that. I'm working now on getting prospecting videos built. Mark Rodriguez shared with me a program that you can build one video and then you can plug in other people's names and the AI will plug their name in your voice. But it's a video, but I need to do what with it? I need to send that out to people. So, and then if they reply, I need Zapier to come back and go, how do I move them through the next step? How do I get them to do the next thing and move them through without me having to open up LinkedIn and keep it open all day, every day? Okay. But you guys got to make sure, how do I keep my customers moving through my process? And how can I make it as seamless as possible and as streamlined as possible? Okay. The next thing, empower your customers with a self-serve option. For my automotive clients, we do this by adding a overall, hey, here's a link on my website to schedule service. But how easy have you made it? Can they go click and schedule service? Or is it something that takes them 5 minutes to get frustrated and throw their phone across the room? Okay. I also say, when I'm in, even with my automotive clients, I'll put out a scheduling link and I will send it off to customers and say, would you like to schedule a time to view this vehicle? Click this link and pick whichever time works for you. We had over 100 people schedule appointments when one of the new electric trucks came out. We set that up, sent it off to everybody, and people just filled the calendar to come in and check it out at the grand opening for it. So that's what I want you guys start to think about. How do I allow them to do something? The key is what? How easy is it to buy from you? Can you get people to actually buy from you without you having to be there? Chat bots. okay? Putting things into the community. So in our private war games community, what do? Somebody can ask a question, and all the resident experts that have been identified can jump in and do this. And they can reply back and make sure somebody gets that answer. So I need you guys thinking, how do I get myself into an easier way of doing business by making it easier for my customer? Because don't you want them to buy more? How easy is it to add on to their order and buy more? Okay. Omni-channel customer service, omni-channel. Oh my gosh, Joe, that's a big word. What does it mean? It means everywhere. It means no matter what the channel. Is it your website? Is it the phone? Is it social media? Is it an email campaign, right? Is it a text campaign? Whatever it is, you need to funnel everything into one spot for customer service. Otherwise, you won't realize the text people are having a problem that the email people are having, and you have two different people trying to fix the same problem. So find one inbox, send them all there so that we can do this. You should be reviewing every one of these issues in a manager's meeting somewhere so you can see how you do this. Statistical process control. Remember electrical engineer? I've been that nerd before, right? Every time they said that, they go, yes, I understand that you only have 3 complaints a week, but that's based off of 100 units. Now, what happens when that becomes 1 million? How many mistakes do you have to change? So it's always in that parts per million, right? It's errors per million. And I want you to start thinking that way because, again, if you get 3 complaints, right, a week based on what you're doing, let's just say you sell 200 things and you're getting 3 complaints a week. You go, that's not bad. I go, I know it's not, but you have 3 complaints a week, 12 complaints a month that have to stop you to fix something. Why not stop it now, fix it ahead of time and get 1 a month, right? If that. So that's how you know you got things going right for your customers because there's no complaints. And of course, retention is going to be the next thing we focus on, right? Are they staying with you once they got there, or are you just a one purchase product, right? The one hit wonders, we called it, when the song didn't come through. So you need to understand all that stuff we have to implement. Here's the key takeaway, the thing that you need to walk away with this and understand. So if you're sitting down, writing down your stuff, customer service is an always on effort. It means everybody, every time, right? All the time. It is always on. You need to determine what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and make sure everybody stays on when it comes to that. Otherwise, you're just going to walk your prospect, walk your customer over to your competition and open the door for them. Because if you don't take care of them, somebody else will. Okay? Here's the cheat sheet that I wanted to make sure you get. So if you're going to screenshot, this will be a good one to do. There's a difference between a satisfied customer and a loyal customer. Okay? So what is a satisfied customer? They feel about you. Wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad experience. Was it great? No, it was good. It was kind of what I expected. So they're neutral. Their experience was good. Meaning what? That means I felt it was okay. Okay? But the biggest thing about when they sit neutral, it means, it's all right. Do we want to come back? I don't know. But they're not against you, which means they won't talk smack. They won't go online and leave you a bad review. Okay, they won't tell their friends, don't go there. When their friends go, have you been there? What do you think about it? They'll go, it was all right. Okay, are you reaching out to your prospects to get testimonials, to get somebody to tell you what's going on? Because have you had somebody that bought a product from you or a service from you and then never called back? Right? Mark Rodriguez and I had a conversation today. And so we're both in automotive space, right? We both do sales in other industries. But in the automotive space, that's what we share. And he said, his client said, oh my gosh, Mark, it is amazing what you did with the store here. I need you back. I need you back in the store, the other store that we have across town. I need you to do the same magic you did over there. And I said, great. Mark said, isn't that amazing? I said, that's fantastic. I'm proud of you. Make sure you get that as a video. When the guy says, I want you to come into this, you're going to come up, pick up your phone and go, okay, why do I need to come back? Oh, and let them brag on you a little bit. Okay. How do you get somebody to become loyal? You have to consistently deliver the 3 keys, right, of customer satisfaction. Here's what it works. If you want loyalty, you got to you have to deliver things on time. It's timeliness. What is it that you do, and what is the expected time frame, and are you meeting it? Okay. Have you ever had your food come out before the appetizer came out? Woo, big red flag. That's not timeliness. That doesn't mean I want to go back. Okay. I wanted the appetizer before the meal. That was the point of an appetizer. Okay. It's supposed to whet your appetite for the food that's coming. So, timeliness, you got to be meeting your schedules and your timelines. It needs to be free of defects. It means it needs to be cooked right the first time. If you're selling a product, right? Like my friend out in Hawaii sells these little chakra bars. If the rod that was in the back of this was sticking out of it to where you couldn't hold it, then wouldn't that be a defect? So if you continuously provide defective things, it doesn't matter if you have a warranty or a guarantee that'll fix it. It's that it's defective, that I got defects. Okay. Then number 3 of our consistent 3 keys to, building customer loyalty is caring and service, right? Those things. So caring means you actually care. Ever been someplace where the person working there doesn't care if you're there or not? It's not their business, but that employee gives you the cold shoulder, gives you the, yeah, you can just wait if you want to. Okay. That's when they ruin it for your guest. And when your guest gets their experience ruined, then it ruins your business. Okay. So the 3 keys to have a customer be satisfied: do your stuff on time, make sure it's not broken, damaged, or faulty, so there's no defects, and then make sure the staff is caring about that person. That won't get you customer loyalty. That'll get you customer satisfaction. When you do this consistently, meaning more than one time, they become to expect it and they can go for loyalty. But the biggest part right here is number 2, which is the relationship. Now you've consistently delivered results. Now we have a relationship. The easiest, fastest way to build a relationship with a customer, you could do it on the first time around, is that word that's right here that says customize. Okay. What does customize mean? It means I'm going to go out of my standard process. Have you ever heard that? When you went in there and go, oh yeah, and they go, that's against policy. I can't do that. And you're like, what? What do you mean it's against I don't care what your policy is. You gave me something wrong. I want to give it back. Okay. So if that's the case, if somebody goes out of their way to customize their policy, process, or way of doing things to meet your needs, that is when you become loyal. For example, and I use food a lot because you can really screw up a restaurant based on service. Okay. There's a restaurant down the street from me here in my office, between my office and my house, called The Cut. Okay. I don't remember the last time I've ordered off the menu. And it's been 2-3 years now. Okay. When I go in, if the owner's there, he goes, what do you want? If I go there, the manager's there. She says, what do you want? Right. Every employee, even new people, when I walk in, they're like, okay, listen, this is Joe. He'll drink the whole 2 gallons of iced tea we have made. So give him one of the little pitchers, fill it up, put it in front of him. It'll save you the running back and forth. But I know it's because they care that I don't sit there with no drink refilled. So they all go up, it's Joe. Hi, Joe. How are you? Boom, give it to me. I'm like Norm from Cheers when I walk in. Okay. When I order my food, it's not anything they have on the menu. And they know it. And there's several people in the back. The cook will look in the back, wave, and I'm like, okay, I don't even have to order now. He's already started my food. He knows it. Okay. But why do I go back there? Because they deliver 1, 2, 3, right? They did it consistently until I became a regular. And then once I did, they customized their stuff for me. But on my first visit, I was like, hey, I don't like this and I don't want this. Can we tweak this? And they're like, absolutely. We'll do that for you. We'll do that for you. And that made me say, I want to go back. And I became loyal because of it. Okay. So hopefully you understand how to get yourself some great customer service, how you view customer service for other people, but how you can fix it in your company and how you can make sure your company delivers customer service that's excellent, worth bragging about, and worth returning for. Okay, because the only way they become loyal is deliver those 3 keys and do it consistently and then customize for them. It could literally be a high five when they walk into your company. It could be you answering the phone the way they would want you to answer the phone. Okay, because if you answered the phone and said, "Hey, how's my favorite customer?" Okay, they're not going to care. That doesn't pull me in. If I called a company and wanted to reorder and they're like, "Big Joe, what you need?" Right? Is this a panic situation we gotta get you, or is it just a regular order? And I'm like, "Oh, let's do this, right? I buy my pins. You guys know I'm kind of a pin freak, but all of these are labeled for my company, right? So when I get all these different pins, right, I have somebody that I work with at the pen place, but I got a thing in the mail, like one of these things. They still send them to me. They're like, "Hey, look, little pens.com thing," right? But they send me these little sample things, and I'm like, "Oh, you gave me something. Let me see if I like the quality." And I was like, "Hey, quality's pretty decent. I like it. Like this, I wouldn't order this pen, but I like it." Right? And so I go, "Okay, great. I like the pen. It seems good." I go order a small set. Then after that, they called me and they go, "Thanks for the order. I'm your order specialist. Anything you need, let me know. And I can get you discounts. I can get you faster shipping. I can waive the actual setup to put your company name on the side." All of those things matter. Okay. So I know that if I want to order more pens now, I call Sasha and she says, "Okay, I'll get it for you." And again, guys, I order a lot of pens because my customers need pens, right? So I've got more than one box back here because I got to take care of my customers. And it's a great way for my customer to think about me. All their sales guys go, "Do you have more pins? Do you have more pins?" And I'm like, "Sure, you're just carrying my name around wherever you left the last one." But be thinking about it, be conscious about it, and make sure that it makes sense for you as a company. Go through all the implementation steps, use AI, use automation anywhere you can to make your life easier. Okay. Hope you found value. We will see you next week. And as always, go out